All right, hello. We are recording a tutorial video for Chessbook. Chessbook is a opening repertoire builder and training tool for all levels of chess players. You can easily build a repertoire from scratch or upload from an existing lead chess study or PGN file, then use the power of spaced repetition to learn quickly and effectively. It's available at chessbook.com on the web, and there's also apps available for iOS and Android. All right, before you do anything, got to sign up for an account. It's the easiest signing up for an account on any other website or service, so I'm not going to go over that. After doing so, go to the top right-hand side here on settings. A couple of key settings we need to go over before we get building a repertoire. First, you got to set what your rating is. Then we're going to go cover positions seen in how many games. This is how often positions appear in your own games. We're going to start with 1 of 75 here for our repertoire, though you can ratchet up at any time to be adding more and more moves in or get to deeper and more complex positions. Last but not least, we need to connect our account or accounts to Chessbook. You can do LeeChess or chess.com. I don't have a chess.com account, but if I want to do that, I just put in my username and hit connect. It's that simple. Connecting allows Chessbook to see your game library, which will help cater your repertoire and also assist in your training, which we'll go over later. All right, to begin, we're going to make a new repertoire here. It's going to be for white. We're going to call it Chessbook Tutorial. Okay, here it is. Repertoire settings. So for this one, I'm going to put it at 1 of 75 games seen. You can also import from LeeChess games, chess.com games, so you can use the two to get a kickstart in your repertoire if you have a large game library you want to play off of, or from study or PGN file once again. All right, now that we have a repertoire created, we're just going to start building our repertoire. You can choose any starting move, but I'm going to start with the Ruy Lopez. So e4, e5 challenging the center, knight f3 hitting the center pawn, knight c6 defending the center pawn, bishop b5, the start of the Ruy Lopez, one of the most common chess positions. I'm going to begin with the Morphy defense here, a6, bishop a4, b5, and bishop b3. So we got to our 1 in 75 games threshold here. We're going to save these moves to our repertoire. We're going to go to our next gap, which is also going to be in the Ruy Lopez. This time, instead of b5, they play knight f6. Before I add any more moves here, I just want to go over a few things on the right-hand side. We have the master's percentage, the evaluation, and the peer results. The master percentage is the percentage of times that the masters, the high-level players, played this game in tournament play. So it's a great place to start when adding moves. If 85% of masters played castling, it's definitely a good move to play. The evaluation is what Stockfish thinks of the position. And the peer results is how well this move performs versus people in your own skill level based off the giant database of games from online play. All right, I'm going to castle here. Bishop e7, rook e1, b5, bishop b3. And there we go. We hit our threshold. We can just save these moves. I'm going to go to practice these moves now. Okay, so here we are. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. Okay, let's say I don't know if I want to do here. I want to play the exchange variation, or if I want to go back to a4. We can exit and look in the repertoire builder. So we can see in our repertoire we have bishop a4. At any time, we can disable or remove this move, and we also have the option of adding an alternative move. We bishop takes c6, the exchange variation. So after adding the second move, we get back to that same position. See, there are two moves available, both this and this would be correct. Bishop takes c6, bishop a4. You can do this at any time during practice or building your repertoire. You can always just click view in the repertoire builder, and you can mess with the move order. You can look at engine evaluations. You can go super deep in lines and not save, so on and so forth. All right, so that gets you set up on building your repertoire. A couple other things I want to go over here is going to the biggest gap will always go and fill up your repertoire. We're at 98% here on this one. I left a particular position here in the exchange Slav. I picked this position because I thought it was a good example. I was having a lot of trouble on this one getting the right move. I have knight e4, which equalizes, and you can see on the peer results almost 60% win rate for black, which is huge. But I keep playing the wrong move, so I want to add two moves here. So I'm going to go knight e4. I'm going to save to my repertoire. Going to practice these moves. Okay, Caro-Kann. Now I'm going to look in the repertoire builder. I know I have knight e4, but I'm also going to add alternative move, knight c6, which is consistent with my repertoire. All right, there it is, 100% complete. One more thing I want to cover here. We go to browse and add new moves. A couple symbols here. There's this rare but dangerous. If you ever see this pop up, it means it's outside of your current coverage range, but it's a move that has a high win rate for the opposite side. So something you may want to prepare for, even if it's slightly out of your range, may provide you with a new idea or understanding. That can pop up really anytime when you're building the repertoire or going through moves, and it's a good thing to look at. All right, lastly, I want to go over training here. There's a lot of options for training. You can practice moves from an individual repertoire. You can practice your entire repertoire, or you can do the daily tasks, which has a few different options. A good place to start when you're practicing moves is you can see the moves I often get wrong, which will be an option under the practice menu as well. This could be a good place to look at adjusting your repertoire, see if you can make it more consistent in your development scheme, etc. And that's as simple as this. It'll just throw you into the position here. For practicing, the space repetition model is really powerful. They use the FSRS model. Basically, if you get a move correctly, you have 4 days till you see it again. Correct 2 times in a row, 12 days, 3 times, 30 days approximately. And also note that connecting to your account means when you play the correct moves in your games, it also counts towards your training. So you'll not be seeing a lot of material that you're familiar with already. From your online games, if you make any mistakes during your opening, mispractice essentially, they'll show up here and then you can correct them immediately and see what you played wrong in the opening. It's a really powerful tool for getting online with your repertoire and playing the right moves. Maybe after a long blitz session, you come back here and you get corrected immediately. You can also view performance by opening. You can see my Sicilian here is suffering, which makes sense because I'm just learning how to play it. But if you click on the opening or any opening you have in the repertoire, you can see your games, and you can also practice from here. Practice from here allows you to practice moves that you missed during that opening, so you can practice specific opening this way. Okay, queen d2, I play a6. No, I castle? Uh-oh, spaghetti. d5. And if you ever miss a move, they'll give it to you again. This is only one move, so we get to repeat it right away. Okay, we're all caught up. The last thing I'd like to go over here is model games. Model games are a really amazing way to embolden your knowledge because you get to see past your repertoire and see how a master played the game through the middle game and end game. Okay, this game follows our repertoire in the Sicilian defense. Here we go. So I'll just play out to the point where I'm comfortable. Okay, here. You can see I've already learned this part of my repertoire. I think we're off repertoire right now. Okay, so at this point, I'm not sure. I'm out of my repertoire, quite right past my range. So I like to click through these, and you can see on the graph here how the game went. But it's nice to see how a game progresses through the middle game and end game after your opening repertoire. Gives you a decent idea how things work. Very cool. Okay, we got 7 out of 7 correct in our own repertoire. Awesome. Well, I think that covers everything I wanted to cover here for Chessbook. It's a really amazing repertoire builder and training tool. It's simply the best one I've ever used. I really highly recommend it. Hope you all enjoyed it and learned some stuff from this video. Take it easy.